The whole purpose of this show is to engage with business owners and be able to answer questions for people that will give them some insight and perspective on how to grow and scale a business. Not only leadership, but real life examples. This is the golden moment. I would do business with you right now.
This is 10X Owners Live. So many of you come every single Tuesday. And so to me, I appreciate more than anything is that you are committed and that you continue relentlessly to show up to 10X Owners Live because you have this quest, you have this thirst for more knowledge. And so because you have that thirst, I'm more willing to show up as well. You want it, I'm more willing to give it to you. So this is interactive, it's live, it's 5:01 here in the West. It's 8:01 out on the East or wherever you are in the world. So why do a live Zoom when you don't engage or interact? The chat is just off to your side. I encourage you to use it, engage and interact. I love what Enrique was saying earlier. If you're here, meet other people. What does it take to create more revenue? What does it take to create more cash flow in the business? More of this. What does it take? It takes people. Right? It always takes people. It takes people that work with you. It takes people you partner with. It takes people that you want to, bring into your organization. It takes people who are customers. It takes those people to find other people so that you can create more ambassadors for your brand. It's people. And so here we are. We're all here for a common mission. We're all here for the same thing. So do me a favor tonight. This is the preacher kid coming out in me right now. Are you ready for this? This is the preacher kid coming out. I want everybody to take a moment here and meet someone you've never met tonight. Woo, wait a second. Wait a second. Does Jackie know Todd? Does Dane know Mike Brown? Does Sherman know Michelle? I don't know. Tonight's the night, David Baines, to meet April Hart Hernandez. You guys should know something. There's business there somewhere, right? Okay, so I want you guys to connect with more people tonight. I want you to extend the network a little bit. If you only come here every Tuesday to write down a couple of notes, you're missing the value. The value is connecting with other people. Anthony and Michelle, you guys should be talking. Ron and Matt, just say hi. Go into this from a relationship standpoint, which we're going to talk about tonight. Go into this with a relationship standpoint. You don't need anything out of this other than a relationship. That's it. Ron and Isabel should be talking right now. You just want to have a relationship. Because if that person that you're talking to isn't the ideal partner, isn't the ideal customer, isn't the ideal employee, guess what? They know who is. And you need people to find them. And that people might just be the one that brings you the big find, right? The big customer, the big high-performing employee that's going to lead this organization so that you can remove yourself from the organization. So really quickly, before we keep going, before you DM away here, let me ask for context and contrast. Our Brandon Dawson, our CEO, always mentions this. How many of you are brand new? Put new in the chat if you've never come to one of these 10X Owners Live that we do every Tuesday here on the Zoom call. New. Colin, welcome. Colin is new. Let's see. Oh, we've got a bunch of newbies tonight. Ashley Patel is here. Who else? Roland Spreewell is new. Jacqueline is new. Stacy is new. Casey is new. Stella is new. Thank you so much for coming. I'm going to promise something for you right now. I'm going to make an absolute guaranteed promise. Tonight will be fire. Tonight, I will over-deliver for you. I will give you all of me tonight. I'm going to bring the energy. I'm going to bring the experience and wisdom, and I'm going to deliver so that you have absolute certainty when you walk away from this call, that you have points of interest that you will be executing on starting tonight. Starting tomorrow morning, when you hit the ground, I'm going to deliver to you some absolutes. So that's going to happen tonight if you're brand new. What we do at Crm Ventures is we help business owners scale their business. Most of you, this is the other thing you have in common. You don't all just want to 10x. You don't all just want to blow up your business. What you have in common is you've created a level of success. Almost everyone here, I can see you now. Your cameras are on. I see Frank. I see Andy. Raise your hand if you created a level of success in your life. Dr. G has his hands always up first. Dennis, Gus. See, we're here because we've created a level of success. We're here because we're stuck. True or false? We want more of that success. We want more customers, bigger pipelines, right? We want to drive better results, higher conversions. Maybe you have the customers, but you're not driving the conversions. That's what we're all here for. So tonight, we're going to tweak. How many of you hear Brandon talk about the two types of innovation? Explosive innovation and granular innovation. Explosive is the big idea. Explosive innovation is the idea that you found this call and that you attend it and that you commit yourself to it and you come. The granular innovation is you actually taking notes tonight. The granular innovation is you clearing the distractions and taking this little thing and just putting it aside for a second. Take this little thing and this is the phone. If you're looking up right now, I'm holding a phone. Take that and just put it away for a second. That's the granular innovation. Write the notes down. And the granular innovation is that you actually apply the things that you're going to learn. Apply the things that you're going to hear from other business owners experiencing things that you've already experienced, you're currently experiencing, or you haven't quite yet experienced, but know you will. Take those notes, even if they don't apply to you directly right now, no matter what breakpoint you're at. I want to make sure that you get as much value as possible. And that's the way you're going to do it, is accountability to yourself. Clearing the distractions and getting ready to participate. So tonight, if you've received a voicemail from me, if you've received a text message from me, if you received an email, maybe multiple emails from me, you will know that tonight we're going to talk about the fact that your marketing sucks. I know it was hard. It was a little bit harsh, but I got your attention, right? It was a little extreme, but I wanted to make sure that you were listening. And sometimes we just need a little smack on the face. We just need a little wake up call, a little cold water rush on the face, right? So that's how we got your attention tonight. And I'm going to deliver to you step by step where most businesses are challenged with their marketing and how we can improve on that immediately. So I'm going to have my producer here, Bryce, put up slide number 1. The number one thing, the number one reason. By the way, prepare for this. There might be some bonuses. I might have some bonuses. I know I said the top 3 reasons your marketing is challenged. Unequivocally, number 1, you lead with creative and not tracking your data. Creative is the fun part of marketing. Whenever somebody says, oh, you're in marketing, so write this one down. You lead with creative and don't track data. That is the number 1 way to have your marketing fail. Whenever someone says you're in marketing, oh man, the first thing they always say when they're not a Cardone Ventures client, let me preface it. When they're not a Cardone Ventures client, they're new to the network. Any of you newbies, when I tell you I'm in marketing, you immediately go to some creative concept that you created, some beautiful TV campaign, some amazing radio ad, a billboard you once put up in your town, a Facebook creative asset. You put together an amazing 30-second reel, a 20-second TikTok where you did this. I'm mixing sunrise and I mixed 2 TikToks together. See, I did the sunrise dance. You guys know that one? The sun goes, Todd's got it, goes up. You know that one? Okay. You immediately go at Todd. I think we're going to cut it there. I think that's it. Maybe at the end we'll have Todd do a TikTok. But you're mixing creative with the idea of marketing. I'm a data marketer. We don't even talk about creative until we understand the data. Now, what's the data? We go deep in the data on a 10x 360. If you've ever been to one of our 2-day 10x 360s, we go deep in all the different data points. But ultimately, here's what I'm going to say. You have to understand who you are. You have to understand the data that you have for yourself. You have to understand who the consumer is. You need to know all the data points of the consumer. I had a client ask me today, I want to do more reviews. Where should I do more reviews? Now, if I was an aspirational marketer, I would say Google review is the best place to do reviews. Google reviews are amazing until I find out they're a restaurant and the number one driver of flow into their business is Yelp. And now I've just made a tactical error because I didn't have the data. I didn't understand if they were brick and mortar, e-com, quick serve restaurant, fast food restaurant. I didn't understand the business model. You need to know your data so you know the consumer's data. And that gives you the answers of how to build the perfect strategy. So if you took that first note, by the way, we will engage here in a little bit. We will interact and I will ask you to ask questions. So if you want to get early on the questions, Dr. G knows how to do this every time. Go to reactions down at the bottom if you're on desktop. And then once you click reactions, click on raise hand. And that's going to get you in the queue to ask questions. At any point, you can raise your hand and I'll make sure that we get to as many of those questions as possible. But if you wrote down that first point, here's a subnote that I want you to create. This is the order to help your marketing not suck. Order number one, data. Data builds the strategy. Strategies two. Strategy feeds creative. Number three, data, strategy, creative. In that order. Any other order and you're shooting from the hip. Any other order and you're guessing game. Any other order, you're throwing spaghetti on the wall. Any other order and you're doing a disservice to your ROI. Okay, I want you to emphatically understand the data so that you can build the right strategy. That doesn't mean that you're going to get 100% connection. But what it means is you know what you did right and you know what you did wrong. And it's easier for you to optimize speed to market, create better results faster. So, when you're creating these campaigns and you're putting your call to actions out, it's fantastic unless you're tracking the data so that you know what works and you know what doesn't work. That's the key. And the way we do that, this is for another time, is through a CRM, which we could go deep on. But I want to get to point number two, because I see lots of hands going up already for questions. So I want to make sure I interact and engage with you guys a little bit. That's what I love more than anything than on Owners Live, is that I get to interact with you guys. Number two, Bryce, drum roll for Sticky Bryce, the producer. Number two. Anybody want to guess in the chat? Anybody want to guess? Number two. Hit it, Bryce. What's number two? You're transactional from the start. Oh man, this is a hard one. It's so easy as a business entity to just think about the growth from a financial standpoint, to think about the transaction instead of building the relationship. Now, I used this when we started today, and I said, meet somebody you've never met and only focus on the relationship. I did a call. We do a 10X employee call. And I did this 10X employee call, and I talked about promote, and how I promote all the time. And I had two employees that tagged me in their promotion, and they sell some amazing nutrition, for focus and brain power. And they explained to me the way they were promoting, and they were asking questions about how they were promoting. And guess what happened? I bought it. I bought the powder because we were building a relationship. It's like the relationships go both ways. I like to connect with people because eventually the transaction will happen. Write that down. The transaction will happen when you build the relationship. You can't skip the first step. You can't go right to the transaction. You have to build trust with the consumer first. So when you're building out any marketing campaign, think of where the potential customer is at in the life cycle. Is this the first time they've ever met you? Is this the second time? Is this the fifth? Is this a year in? Is this 4 years in? Think of Grant Cardone. He's known people over 10 years now. He's been paying through YouTube, Instagram to reach more people and build relationships. He's been crushing it on platforms that went away. Now he's on new platforms like Clubhouse. In fact, he was just in Clubhouse an hour ago talking about a new audio platform where people might be leaving Clubhouse. And if they do, he'll go to the new one. He's building relationships. And if you don't build relationships, you can't earn trust. If you don't have trust, you don't get conversion. If you don't get conversion, that's how you miss your transactions. So, this is just, it's simple. Whenever you're putting a call to action out, you're on Instagram, you're doing a story. It's always click this, buy this, put some in the chat. I always like this exercise. We do this at our marketing workshop. This is one of the exercises that I do. I have a 2-day marketing essentials workshop where I teach you how to create content that actually builds relationships instead of being transactional in nature, because there is an art to doing that. There is a very specific art on how you reach out cold to a potential customer, but yet it feels warm. Yet it feels like I'm talking directly to you. Joe, Frank, Alex, Ashley, John, Sarah, Mark, Samantha, Mia. Sounds like I'm talking directly to you. There's an art to getting that feeling, right? So I do that in the workshop, but here's what we'll do in the comments. Name your call to actions. Let's see how many call to actions we can come up with. Rapid fire. Call now, DM, click, swipe, right? What else? Keep going. Reserve, text, ask me, DM me, secure, call me immediately, here for your needs, book a call, sign up, learn more, swipe. These are good. Act now, flash sale, act now. For more info, download this, slide in my DMs. Nice, Mike. Nice. Mike's trying to get a date. Learn more, question, schedule a strategy call, download this, click here today, DM me, say hello, sale for a limited time, buy a home, 2 spots left, right? When we do that, consumers are smart. Your consumer, no matter how young, no matter how old, they don't specifically, this is an interesting point to make. They're smart. They know an ad. I was working with one of our clients recently. We were going through some of his assets. When you do an Instagram ad and you put graphics over the ad or over the, not an ad, when you do an Instagram profile, like a in-feed asset, and you put graphics on there, the consumer doesn't need to be a marketer to know that that's an ad. They see graphics on an image and everyone just assumes it's an ad. It's an ad because it's graphic in nature. It's not natural. It goes against the way that the platform was supposed to be used. You're supposed to upload photos. But now we have an asset with graphics and a buy now and a link, right? So it's transactional in nature. It's not developing or nurturing a relationship. It's tactical. And the consumers have a subliminal instinct. They won't even verbally say, watch this. This is the average time the Instagram user spends on one asset. It's 2 seconds. I teach this, 2 seconds. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So subliminally, they don't go to themselves, oh, that's an ad, swipe. No, they literally, at a millisecond of a moment, they see the graphic on the asset and they swipe because they're just like, something I'm not buying, something I don't care about. Instead of a story or something compelling or emotional that makes them laugh or makes them smile or makes them cry or makes them feel something, right? That's what we're all on here for. That's what we're swiping for, to feel something. So stop being transactional in nature. Think about how to develop real relationships. Now you can use, and we talk about this in the marketing workshop, the 2-day workshop, you can use automation to filter down to the relationship. It's an art though. There's a way that you need your consumer to feel at scale as you automate efforts with thousands of people. Think about this call right now. Think about this Owner's Live call. It's a free, we call it a kickstart program, which means you could be highly experienced and in the network for years, or you could be brand new and you're going to get the context. I'm not going to go into anything overly complicated because there's a lot of new people that join this call, right? But the list that we send this call out to is 5,000 to 10,000 people on average. Maybe sometimes we do a couple other additional lists, maybe 15,000. And we're trying to develop new relationships, right? So we're putting very personal tokens and emails and talking about specific subjects of a business owner that are interesting to bring them to this moment to learn more. Now, as you're here, I'm developing the one-on-one relationship with Michelle. I'm developing the one-on-one relationship with Robert and Jalen and Boot Boss Holly and Chris. Like, this is my moment, right? Michelle and Epi, Steve, I'm developing these moments with you. I'm watching Lizzie right now shake her head. Yes, she's saying yes. You know, I see Lee with her 10x background. This is the moment I get. I used automation to filter it down, to find the right people who are the people that we want to work and partner with. And then I got you right here to this moment right now. And now it's my job to develop a personal relationship with Jay Len, with Tony, with Robert, with Jackie, Justin, who I'm glad to see Justin Stewart's here tonight, Miguel. It's my job to touch on this personally with you. And that's your job too with the consumer, is how do you make it personal? How do you over deliver the value so that you build more trust? And that's my only intention tonight, is to just build as much, absolute much value as possible. So that's number 2, quit being transactional. Number three, Sticky Bryce. Drum roll for Sticky Bryce, guys. Come on, give him a drum roll. Number 3, he knew it was coming. He could anticipate it. How to create better marketing, how to make your marketing not suck. What is the number 3 tip tonight on 10X Owners Live? Bryce, unveil number 3. Let's see it. No nurture. Oh my God. Ugh. Oh my God. Ugh. No nurture. It's the worst. I can't breathe. I literally can't breathe because you're killing me with no nurture. Look, I did it. Okay. I tracked the data. You said it. Track the data. I tracked it. I put the HubSpot thing in there. I did all the data thing. Okay. I did exactly what you said. I wasn't transactional. Just made relationships, made that ad. And it was all about, just wanting to learn more about who they were, very relationship. It didn't perform. ROI sucked. It didn't perform. The whole thing doesn't work. This is why I hate marketing. Nothing I do ever works, right? So here's the stat you're going to write down. 80% of the success of any campaign is in the nurture. Think about that. 80% of the success of any campaign is in the nurture. Everyone spends their resource on the flow. Everyone spends their time, the perfect landing page with the most beautiful hero image, and the colors are on brand, and the positioner is aligned with your brand house, and and then let's embed a video. We're gonna do it GC style. Hey, if you're looking to grow and you want to do this, and you put that little embed in there, and you're like, man, I nailed that video. I worked on it like a week long, right? And then what do? We get the ad, right? We get the asset for Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, a podcast. We're going to do a podcast and we're going to launch it. And what's the call to action? The call to action is to hit the landing page at the end of the podcast, right? And then we don't convert, right? We get the data and then we say, well, that campaign didn't go well because we didn't convert. You have to nurture the consumer. Okay, the activation, the go-to-market activation that you created is just the first step. There are people who come to this program. There are business owners that come to Owners Live that did not transact with us and received value for 2 to 4 months before they ever came to a program. Tonight, I am going to talk about my Marketing Essentials workshop. I'm going to offer something very special. Tonight, somebody is going to make the decision based on the last 45 minutes or last 30 minutes of my conversation. Somebody tonight will finally make the decision to say, you know what? I would like to learn how to create better relationships, have confidence in the type of content that I'm creating, and I would like to spend 2 days with Buck and the rest of his executives to learn how to do this better for my business. Somebody tonight who has been here for 4 months, 5 months, 6 months, 7 months will make that decision. This program is very much about flow and nurture. This is a nurturing platform. How are you nurturing your customers? This is how I nurture you. I nurture you through this, through value. Over and deliver the value as much as possible, because eventually you'll trust. How do I know? Because the data tells me. You show up. There's almost 400 of you that have come already. You keep showing up. The value must be there. We study every single data point to learn how many people show up, how many came, and how many stayed. We know what subjects you're more interested in. We know every time we talk about marketing and sales, you're highly interested. We know when we talk about people alignment, you're highly interested. We know when we talk about finances, you know you need it, but you're less interested, right? You want the fun stuff. We know this because we study the data. So let's go through them again. Who remembers? Let's do a test. Let's do a test. Number one, what was the number one thing? In the chat, what is it? Number one thing to improve your marketing. Let's test this out. Not tracking data, not understanding exactly where it's coming from, who it is, and how to better strategize your creative. That's right. Number two. This is like a countdown. This is like Casey's countdown. What was number two? Don't be transactional. Be transformational. Brandon Dawson, our CEO, talks about this all the time. Be transformational. Build relationships. Inspire people to want to do business with you. Inspire people to want to partner with you. Inspire people to want to work with you. I'm learning from the best. Grant and Brandon are amazing inspiration. I am here because of Brandon. I am literally sitting here on a Tuesday night in Scottsdale, Arizona, moving my family from Washington to a split city strategy, Scottsdale and Miami. We live in both markets because we have offices and events in both markets. My kids were plucked from a public school and put into private homeschool. My kids have a traveling nanny to 2 different markets and private homeschool in 2 different markets because Brandon Dawson inspired me in one conversation. Because he wasn't transactional. Hey, do you want a job? No, that's not what he said to me. He didn't say, hey, Brandon Dawson did not say, hey, do you want a job? Hey, are you happy at your current job? He didn't ask. It didn't matter. It didn't matter if I was happy or not. What Brandon Dawson said to me is, I'm about to build $1 billion business that helps business owners around the country scale personally, professionally, and financially. I've done it before. I sold my last company for $151 million. Have you ever met anyone that's ever sold a business for 151? No, I haven't, Brandon. What if I could show you how we could do it again? Would you be interested in joining an adventure like that? Absolutely. Absolutely. He inspired me to be here. I'm here. I'm standing here talking to you because he was able to inspire me. Make the transformation, stop with the transaction. That's not just, by the way, when we think of marketing, this is another misnomer that most people think about. When you think about marketing, everybody thinks customer. Stop thinking about just the customer. Think about your recruiting strategy. That's a marketing strategy. Think about the partnership strategy, the vendor strategy, the technology strategy. All of this is connections to other people. Your business needs a diversified marketing strategy, not just the consumer, but the recruiting marketing efforts, the partnership recruiting efforts, the investor marketing strategy. If you need investment, think of that. Think of how you're marketing to them. What are they seeing right now? Remember, in marketing, perception is reality. So when that investor, that partner, that new technology vendor that is going to blow and scale your business, when that new employee, the high performer who's going to be a leader and remove you from your current role, when they look at your Facebook, Instagram, YouTube right now, when they look at your website, landing page, what are they seeing? Are they inspired by that? That's the question you have to ask yourself every single day. And what's the third? What's the third? Let's see who's got the third. No nurture. Buckfest 2021. Ow! No nurture. 80% of the success of any campaign is in the nurture. Guys, these are big. These are big bullets. There's a lot of detail inside these bullets. But I'm telling you, you master these 3, you're going to get by real well. You master these 3 things, and you got a lot of scale coming to your company. You're going to be choking operationally. You're going to be choking on the flow. So here they are one more time. Don't lead with creative, and don't forget to track your data. Don't be transactional from the start, be transformational, and don't forget to nurture. By the way, if you don't know what nurture means, nurture is your ability to follow up in simple form. Follow up. Where are you following up? Calls, live calls, emails, text messages, video messages. Any touch point that consumer's at, follow up. Retargeting. Tracking those pixels and retargeting that same consumer with a new message. The first message didn't resonate. We're A/B testing the same consumer with a different ad. You don't even have their data yet. Think of that. You don't even have you don't have their first name and phone number, but you've got their pixel, and we're going to retarget that audience because we're going to nurture that same audience. But if you didn't convert, it's your fault. Everyone likes to blame Facebook. We have to take accountability. When things don't work, it is on us. Facebook was designed to work. People make Facebook work. People make millions of dollars on Facebook and Instagram and YouTube, pre-roll ads, TikTok ads. People find the successful rhythm, the successful recipe. When it doesn't work, we're not working. We have to take accountability, and then we have to dig into the data. That's the key. Okay, I'm going to give you a bonus number 4. This is a bonus number 4. And then I've got something really special I want to offer you. Bonus number 4, consistency. Consistency, showing up every single day. I tried this thing one time, it didn't work. I didn't do it again. I had one of our platform review marketing managers ask me today, if you're new and you don't know what that is, we help a lot of businesses go through all the granular pieces of their business. And a platform review is where we take 6 months and we help them extrapolate all their data to tell them exactly what they need to do and when they need to do it. And in order to go from 1 million to 10 million to 20 to 50 million. I had a platform review marketing manager ask me today, if they haven't done any paid, which is one of the verticals that we work in 6 months to a year, would we even want the data from a year ago? Because the last data point they had was this business owner tried paid media 1 year ago. Consistency. They gave up. They tried it a year ago. It didn't work. They never did it again. Consistency. Showing up, whether it's organic or paid, promote. On here, you're promoting consistently. You come one Tuesday, then you don't, you disappear for 4 months. Consistency. Coming every single Tuesday, discipline and consistency in all your marketing efforts. That's one of the number one ways to get someone to trust you. I would rather you be off on strategy, but consistent, because the consistency is going to create trust with the consumer, right? They see you doing it. Maybe the message didn't resonate quite right. Maybe you didn't hit the value proposition. Maybe the call to action was cumbersome or it was confusing to the consumer. You're not nailing it. You don't have it down. But you're doing it every single day, and they see you and they hear you, and it's going to connect. But I'll tell you what won't connect: when you give up. It'll never connect. That's a guaranteed 0 when you don't do it at all. And that's why consistency is going to be key, is that you show up, and you show up every day. You put the effort in. Grant Cardone says this every time I do a 10x 360. Grant Cardone says, half of this room is going to walk out and fail. It doesn't matter what Buck is teaching you. The reason you will fail is your level of effort and your ability to have consistency and commitment to do it every single day. Think of every moment where you failed in your life. How committed were you? That's the question Grant poses to us and offers us in 10X rule: be obsessed or be average. His message is loud and clear. Commitment is key. And the same thing is true with marketing in every single effort. So here's what I'd like to do. I have a 2-day marketing essentials workshop where we go deep on how to build these relationships. But due to the fact that I'm even teaching you right now that I don't want a transaction, I don't need you to buy it. What I need is to know who you are. What I need is to know what challenges you, in particular, Sherman are having, Frank is having, Mark is having, KC is having. I need to know where your challenges are. Are they in strategic tools, data, CRM, own, paid, earn, K. I'm looking at K. I'm looking at Raphael, Paul, Ginger. I need to know what that is. And so I'm offering, with this 2-day marketing essentials workshop, I'm offering you a consultation call directly with me. I'm going to offer you a consultation call where, before you come to the 2-day marketing essentials workshop, you and I are going to have a Zoom call together to talk about the issues that you're having so that you're set up for success before you ever even attend. So Bryce, if you throw that offer up real quick, I want to make sure everyone knows that I'm interested in learning more about you. I am committed. I'm 100% committed to you. Bryce, if you'll go full screen on the image, you've got it half screen right now so everyone can see that QR code. There we go. He's going to fix the QR code. So I want to learn more about the challenges you're having, and I'm invested in your success. That's the point. If you take anything tonight from me, know that I'm invested in your success. And so to do that, I'm willing to take time out of my day to learn more about your individual personal issue. Go ahead. Jean-Lieve is scanning the QR code. So if you've never done this before, do it just for fun. My data, you're going to skew my data if you do it for fun, but that's okay. Hit the camera on your phone. And then when you put that phone right next to the QR code, you're going to see a little link that floats up there. And then that link is going to open this little meeting. I want you to schedule this meeting with me right now. Okay, I want you to schedule this meeting to make this happen. Let's have that conversation. I'd love to see you. By the way, you want to start, who wants to start January with a bang? Because we are already talking about Q1. We are already talking about how to blow 2022 up. There are only 2 dates left for the Marketing Essentials Workshop. November 21st in Scottsdale. My West Coasters get to Scottsdale in November. December 4th and 5th, just before the holidays, is the last Marketing Essentials Workshop in Adventura, where we go through data, transactional versus transformational, where we go through how to use call to actions in a way that actually nurture your audience. We go through how to be committed. And we teach you the step-by-step process of creating this content in a way that resonates. It's the Marketing Essentials Workshop. There's only 2 left, November 2021 and December 4th and 5th. So I'll make the commitment to you if you make the commitment to me. That's my honor. That's my word. Make that commitment. You can ask any one of the clients that have been here. How many of you have been to a Marketing Essentials Workshop? Put 10X in the chat. For those of you that have been, put 10X in the chat if you've been to those Marketing Essentials Workshops. Ask anyone right here, DM any one of these 10Xs that you see right here. DM any one of them and ask them how I've helped them, not just at the workshop, but as they continue to develop relationships with me. Because if you don't win, we don't succeed. This business cannot succeed unless you succeed. That is the legacy of this company, is watching you go from 1 million to 5, from 5 to 10, 10 to 20. All right, we got about 20 minutes, so I'm going to open up for questions. Let's see. Let's do some roulette here. We'll go with Sandra. Let's go Sandra first. Sandra, welcome to 10X Owners Live. How are you?
Good. So
Awesome.
I think I'm signing up for the 4th and 5th. I just hadn't picked my dates yet, so I should be there, but I'd
Love
come
it.
earlier.
I
Yeah,
will
I'm gonna
see
be
you
there.
in Adventura in December then. That is an awesome choice.
Yeah. I'm excited to go. But my question is, because you talked about the vanity data that we get from some of the agencies, and that really resonated with me, because right now I am in a contract for SEO with my marketing agency, and I'm realizing there is no strategy here. So I'm going back to them and they're telling me, oh, if you drop the SEO, you're going to lose all your rankings. And I know that that's not the truth, but I just wanted to put it out there to you. Maybe you could help me.
I would love to. Yeah, Sandra, I would love to help
With
you.
that question. I mean, I don't know where to go from here, but I realize that it's not the right thing after last week.
Yeah, I appreciate that, Sandra. And you got my word that I'm going to help you do that. In fact, on December 4th and 5th, let's spend some time on the break. We have lunch, we've got cocktail hour. bring that information, bring that contract. I will help you go through it and dissolve it, or I'll help you put a better strategy to it. The reason I'm saying that is, listen, in these micro markets that you're in, these agencies, there's hundreds of agencies. I started an agency. I started one. I sold it. I worked for the world's largest agency. Okay, so I started an agency. I had 5 employees, 8 employees, 10 employees. It was a small agency. Worked with Major League Baseball, North American International Auto Show. Worked with a bunch of different Midwest brands, Valvoline Oil, Chevy Racing, right? Sold that company. Then I worked for a massive agency, the world's largest, 40,000 employees at one agency, 40,000 employees. Okay, this is a big agency. So I know agencies really well. And what I can tell you is in these micro markets, there's hundreds of them. There's the dude in the basement that you don't realize doesn't actually have a business. There's a micro agency that's ahead of themselves, tripping on their break points. So they have no operational structure, but they have some talented individuals that they've recruited, and they've won some big accounts and some small accounts, and they're using smaller businesses to help sustain the employees that they hired when they are losing big accounts. So operationally, agencies are very difficult. But the number one thing I want you to remember, when an agency fails, it's on us. It's on us when the agency fails, because we can't expect the agency to have the data, to pull the data out if we're not tracking it. We can't expect the agency to build the strategy if we don't have an understanding of all the elements of your strategic tools, paid, owned, and earned. Until we're able to articulate what we want as a business owner and how we need them. Remember, agencies are there to execute, unless the caveat is if you're hiring a strategy agency. That's very different, which most micro markets don't even have. So Starbucks hired my agency to do strategy for pumpkin spice latte. We were a strategy agency. They hired us to do the strategy and the creative. So most agencies are like, we do everything. We're full service. We'll bring you customers. Those aren't strategy agencies. It is our job as the business owner to deliver the strategy. So Sandra, what I want to do is, these guys might be great. They might be SEO experts.
Sure.
But they're missing pieces that aren't forming a strategy for them. So I want to help you, A, build what that strategy should look like and help you deliver it to them so that they continue executing it for you. Or B, realize that they're bad at execution to begin with. So I'll audit that a little bit with you. And then we'll just talk about how to pivot and sustain what you're doing. The biggest question, Sandra, is always, is are you able to track the ROI of the SEO? And if you can bring those numbers, we'll have a much easier conversation. If you don't have those numbers, that's going to be my first question, is how do we track whether this is actually beneficial to your bottom line or not? Is that helpful?
Well, we're giving me numbers, but I think what you said ring true for me last week was their vanity numbers. It's impressions. Yeah. It's not conversions. And so I appreciate that. I'm excited to be there.
Awesome. Love it. We'll get those conversion numbers for you. If they can't find them for you, we'll have to devise a plan to get them to them, and then they can help you track it. Because what I don't want to have happen is all of a sudden you become the execution. If you've got experts in one particular area, it's great to have third-party execution. It's great to have them. But we have to be the ones to deliver the strategy if they're not going to do it for us. And if they don't know how to do it and we don't know how to do it, that's where you come to us to help you build that strategy. Alex, let's go with you next. Welcome to Owners Live, brother.
Hey, thank you for having me on here.
You got it.
So my question is, if you could do more of a deep dive on number 3, like nurturing, is there like one thing? So I do a lot of promotion through Instagram. I just became a licensee now, so I'm transitioning.
Congratulations. Yeah, that's awesome.
Thank you. Appreciate it. So I've been doing like a lot of selfie videos for promotion. Every day I go live on Instagram at 10:15 a.m. Central. What are some more things I can be doing to lean into Instagram, since that's my biggest, most engaged audience?
Yeah. So from a nurturing standpoint, how do you nurture better is the question?
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. So we go through this in a 10X 360 where we talk about the persona, the type of individual that you're attracting. So what do I always say about the persona? To know them is to what? Somebody give it to me. My alum that are here tonight, give it to me. To know them is to love them. Aaron knows. Aaron, you win. Aaron wins. To know them is to love them. Okay, so the more they feel known, the more they feel loved, the more you get trust. The more trust, the higher they convert, right? So like Grant Cardone knows his audience. He knows who's looking for 10x, right? Like, and so when he speaks, it resonates. So the better you know that consumer, the easier, Alex, it is to nurture them because you know the value of what they're looking for. Grant knows what we're looking for. We're looking to break the mold. We're looking to do more. We're looking to surround ourselves with other people who want to do more. We're looking to remove the drainers out of our life, the people who tell us no and tell us we can't do it and it's not possible. Grant knows and feeds on the fact that that's his message and those are his people. We're people that are looking to just be as big as possible and to set goals so ridiculous that we perform higher than we've ever performed in our entire life. He knows us so freaking well. How well do you know your consumers? The more you know them, the easier it is to nurture. Then the more you know them, then you know what platforms they're on, right? So you know where to nurture them more. You know if you know age and locations, and you know all these things about them. You know brands that they associate with. Then you know their concerns. You know their fears. You know their challenges. You know how to connect with them on a deeper level. So your nurture will only be as good as the persona that you understand or the data that you have on that persona. So I would encourage you to get to know them. Now, here's an easy tip that I'll give you, Alex, and everyone else. Think of the best customer you've ever had. Think of that number one customer you've ever had. Now, if you know that customer well enough, that's free data. That customer should be so close to you that you can have a lunch, a coffee, a phone call once, twice, 3 times, 4 times. Interview that client and ask them those questions. Ask them the family questions, personal questions. What are their goals? What do they hope to achieve? What's the experience like? What was the experience like when you found me, when you met me, when you converted with me, when I retained you, when I hit you with the email, when I called you, when my team called you? What did it feel like? What was it like? Now, if you have 5 clients that are all amazing, and when I say amazing, I mean the highest impact on revenue in your business. If you have 5 clients, interview all 5. Get macro. How much data can you get? When you get 5 great clients, guess what you're going to get? Guess what you're going to get? Trend lines. Trend lines. Wow. They all said this. They all said, I hate picking up the phone after 5 p.m. I shut it off because my family's important to me. Look at that trend line. They all said it. Quit setting your voicemail drops for 6:30. Right? Now we know. Now we're nurturing. Get the data on the persona. It'll help you nurture them better. So it's all those kind of, it's information. I can give you a baseline of data points, and we do that in the marketing workshop. By the way, somebody asked in the comments, Bryce, somebody couldn't scan the QR code. They were on their mobile phone. Can you put the link for them to schedule that consultation? There's the link right there. If you weren't able to scan the QR code and you want to do the 2-day marketing workshop, click that meeting link right there. Aaron's got it for you. Cardone Ventures is putting it in there for you. I want to make sure everyone has an opportunity to do that for the 2-day workshop, where I will give you that one-on-one consultation before you attend. Alex, does that help?
That helps a lot. And I'm going for Cardone Ventures licensing next. So let's go.
Dude, let's go. I'd love to have you. That'd be awesome. Interview those clients. I think Gus is drinking wine tonight. Gus, you going to share with us? You got red wine or white wine? What do you guys have? Gus, the event guy. He's thinking about here. Let's ask real quick. Let's see if Gus is going to share. Gus,
hey guys, Gus is actually here. We were just at your scaling workshop a month ago, and
that's right. What are we drinking tonight? Are you guys popping the bottles? I see you guys are.
Oh, it's late. Well, we're on the East Coast. We just went from like 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. full tilt business. I know I'm not bragging or complaining. I'm just saying where we are.
Exactly. Pour some for us. Pour some for us. Cheers. Can we do a toast to Gus? Let's do it. Let's do a toast. Ready?
Dawson, actually.
Wait, this stuff's really good.
Oh, look at that. Everybody's got. Oh, Gus isn't the only one drinking tonight. Okay, here we go. Look at that. Doreena's got her glass up there too. All right. Hey, to success and 10x love between you two. How about that? I love it. Much success to you guys. All right, let's go to Samantha, who's got a question. Big money management in the house with the beautiful new studio. Hey, Sam.
Hey, so we just hired a marketing person. And I think I already have identified where my issue is. But I guess in my mind, it's confusing between this strategy. You know, we've got the HubSpot now in place, but like I don't think he's very experienced, which I hope to develop him. So I guess I just don't know what to give him, what he needs to be successful.
Yeah. Let's give him a coloring book.
Okay.
We're going to have him color in the blanks. So here's what the coloring book looks like. Are we ready? Everybody ready? Let's start with quarter one because we're in Q4. So let's just move to quarter one. We're already there. Quarter one. Month, January, February, March. January, week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4. Let's start to color in those blanks. What's the umbrella campaign for Q1? Right? What's the, like, I'll tell you mine. You want to know mine? This isn't launched yet. You guys want to know what I've got for Q4? Q4, we're launching 10X teams. How to build high performing teams. That's the umbrella. It's a big umbrella campaign that we know you want. We know you want high performing teams. And we're working on amazing educational programs that break down how to build those teams. Inside building the perfect team, inside Samantha, inside big money management, what are the pillars that he can play with? You know, you're the business owner. You know the consumer, you have the data, you're tracking it. What are those pillars inside the umbrella? Because those pillars are content filters. So now we know who the consumer is. We know where the consumer exists. We know the value proposition of every single one of those pillars inside the umbrella campaign. This is the organization of it. So when he says, I want to do a YouTube, I want to do a podcast, let's line it up. What pillar is that YouTube going to be? Episode 1, season 1. What is the pillar? What's one? Samantha named just one value proposition. Retiring early. Is that a value proposition?
Sure.
I don't know.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. How to retire early. She's in financial services, right? How to retire early. That's a value proposition inside a bigger umbrella campaign around money management. So now we know this first YouTube is going to be on retirement. What's another one? How to get started. Young people that don't even like, I don't even know where to get started for investing. This is another persona, another pillar, another target, another filter. So now we're starting to plot, like there needs to be intention. That's how we avoid the shotgun strategy. There needs to be intention on building out campaigns. We will this month build out Q1, January, February, March, loosely. Expect it to change. Why does it change? Because the data is going to tell us this is really working. This is not working at all. This consumer was not as interested in this value proposition as I thought they would be. This consumer, however, tends to be extremely excited because the engagement tells us that they are. This is converting high, this is converting low. So you build your strategy out for Q1 and it goes like this. It goes up, down, and up and down, and you make adjustments and you optimize your campaign based on what works and doesn't. But think of this, think of your campaigns as a Google map. You know point A and you know point B. You're trying to get to point B from a financial standpoint. This is where finance and marketing all works together, right? Operations and people, it all works together. You know your revenue needs to be right here. Your revenue needs to be here. So in order for you to get from point A to point B, you've got to ride that train, that campaign train all the way to B. So as things are working or not working, you're adjusting on the fly. So it may not be concrete. It needs to be malleable. It needs to be flexible. But you got to have it. Otherwise, you're coming up with ad hoc ideas on the fly.
Yeah.
Let's go live today and what do you want to talk about? I don't know. What do you want to talk about? That's not strategy. We've all done that. We know, we're all laughing because we've all done that. Look at that. You guys, everyone laughing right now knows, what do you want to do? I don't know. What do you want to, I don't know. Let's talk about the thing again. People kind of liked that. Like we didn't look at the data. We don't know. Is that helpful, Samantha?
Yes, very.
Yeah, give him the outline, and you're going to have to help him fill it in, right? He's there to execute the way you're telling him to. He needs to be model, mimicking, mastering. So great questions, Samantha. Appreciate that. And I get to see Samantha this weekend, right? In Miami. We're delivering your platform review in Miami this weekend.
Yes, very excited.
Very exciting. They've been working with us for 6 months now to collect all that data, and we're going to be delivering the blueprint of exactly how big money management is going to blow up. Love it. Let's go over to Dr. Mary Lou. So good to see you again, friend. All the kisses.
Yeah. Hey there. Good to see you. I want you to know, even on an airplane coming home, I referred someone to you for help. He's a trucker and in charge of a lot of trucking associations and these guys. And I said, you are the one. So
I love that. Thank you
hopefully
so
I'm
much.
already your affiliate.
I
Okay.
appreciate that. Hey, by the way, you get business credits when you do that. So you let us know when you send us a lead.
All right. I'll give you the name later. How's that?
Beautiful. Thank you.
Okay. Absolutely. You're very welcome. You deserve it. You earned it.
I
Had such a
appreciate
great
that.
time and recommend all kind of boot camps for everyone with you.
Love it.
So here's the question,
Hit me.
and it has to do with 80% of success is in the nurturing and the follow-up and all of that,
Mhm.
which brings me to the question, what CRM do you recommend?
Oh,
Buck?
this is my favorite question.
No kidding. Now, this was not happening rehearsed. You had no idea.
I had
but-
no idea.
Okay,
I
well,
wish I had a
I'm the
rehearsal
same
with
way,
Mary
Brenda.
Lou. She's my favorite person, but I didn't.
Okay.
Who knows the best CRM in the world? Who can tell me the best CRM in the world? Which
Is
one?
it the
is it?
one you use?
It's the one you use. I can't tell you the amount of owners that I talk to that say, yeah, I got one. My second question is, do you use it? No, not really. So then I'm going to introduce, everyone's looking for the easy way out. They're like, well, what's the easy one that everyone's going to use? And it's our job as owners to inspire the process to be driven by people who are inspired for the company and themselves to win personally, professionally, and financially. It's our job to inspire those employees to follow that process no matter what it is. The truth is there's a lot of CRMs out there. My wife uses one for real estate. I absolutely love it for real estate. It's very different than the one Grant Cardone uses, we use. There's another one for construction that I like. So the question is, what business,
I'm in healthcare.
what
I'm in
business are
healthcare
you
right
in,
now.
and what are you currently using?
Mhm. So right now, we use CycleNet, something that I've used for many years, since about 2005.
Mhm.
And I'm having a lot of add-ons, something called MAPS, M-A-P-S. I want to automate and do things automatically, follow them through the journey,
Mhm.
etc.
Mhm.
But I'm finding, for example, this is
Mhm.
very important to us. I would like to nurture physicians, referral sources, associations,
Of course.
and be where my avatar, where my favorite patients are, right?
Sure.
And their whole medical team, not just an ENT or their family doctor.
Yeah.
I think everybody needs to know about their hearing.
By the way,
So-
Dr. Mary Lou, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention this for those of you that don't know. Didn't you hire Brandon Dawson as one of your first sales members when how old was he? 19 years old or something?
Oh my Lordy, he was amazing, and he was a representative of mine.
Can you guys believe
and
that?
Even back then, Brandon had it, and he could really find your needs and fill them, right?
Isn't that amazing? Brandon was
Yeah.
like 19 years old, hitting the sales trail with Dr. Mary Lou, just crushing it. So
Yeah.
cool. Well,
And we're happy that he and Natalie are married. So here's my detailed suggestion.
yes,
You got to change Natalie Workman.
she's
to
working
Natalie
on it.
Dawson.
She's
I
working
saw
on it.
Tonight when she left, it said Natalie Workman left. All right, just
She
saying.
needs
We
to
love-
change her Zoom account at least.
That's right, she does. Okay.
So true. So true.
All right.
I failed
so
as a
there you
marketer
go.
if I don't help her rebrand with her real last name. Here's what I'm going to do for you, Dr. Mary Lou. I'm going to give you a private 5-minute chat on the CRM. I'm going to have you
Great.
connect with my buddy Bryce. I'm going to
Okay.
get your information from Bryce. And I'm going to help you out. I want to make sure you get on the right CRM. You get a little more complex in the healthcare space. You got HIPAA compliancy. So you got to work through some of the ways to track
Right.
patient data versus external marketing data. So let's work on a solution together. And I'd love to see you at one of our marketing essentials workshops too.
Yeah,
obviously.
I'm thinking, how many seats do you have left in November and in December? Can you give me an idea?
Yep. Well, how about this? I'll give you the total count left. I know November is getting packed because it's sooner. That always happens. December, we have 100 spaces, and I believe we're at 32 for Miami in December. So
Okay,
there's
so
plenty of room in
68.
December. If you want to
Yeah.
move faster, we can make the room in Scottsdale. So I'm
And
not
it's
going to let
how much transactional is it?
it's let me how about this? I'm going to work on a deal for you, Mary Lou. I'm going to work on a very specific deal for you, just for you. Okay. All right. So Bryce, if you would DM Mary Lou and let's get her information. I want to work with her on fixing her CRM and then getting her to the workshop. One more time, Bryce, hit the QR code. Before we wrap up tonight, I want to learn more about your challenges. Scan the QR code. Let's get you in November 2021, December 4th and 5th. If you want to move fast, meet me in Scottsdale. You want to hit it before the new year begins? Hit it in December 4th and 5th. There's also, just so you know, there's also People Essentials Workshop if you're having people issues. And then, of course, there's Finance Essentials Workshop if you're like, man, my models are jacked. I have no idea what I'm doing. I don't even know what cash flow means. I don't know what profit versus revenue means. If you are challenged in the financial space, we've got you for Finance Essentials Workshop. We've got People Essentials Workshop. I have enjoyed tonight thoroughly. I've learned so much from you guys. By the questions you ask, I get to learn more about where you're aspiring to be and what challenges you're hitting on a daily basis. So thank you for your time. Thank you for your engagement. And thank you guys for the wine, for the cheers tonight. I really appreciate that. And next week, Brandon and Natalie Dawson, I can now say Dawson, will be back on 10X Owners Live. Katie, have a great night. Thank you for showing up. Looking amazing as always. That's two Katies side by side right now. Katie Guevara and Katie Haggard are here tonight. Dorina, thank you. Dave, thank you. Alex, thank you. Jaylyn, is it Fabian? Fabian, thank you. Miguel, Total Beauty Supply. Thank you guys so much. Lee, thank you for showing up. You show up, I show up. That's the commitment. Hey, before we leave, let's take a photo. Who wants an Instagram? Let's do it. Before we leave, I want a group shot. Grab your phone and get a group shot too. Here we go. I'm gonna do a video. Here we go. 10X Owners Live. Look at this. Business owners changing their lives right now, just soaking up the knowledge and education. You should be here too. Next time, here's what I want you to do. Click this link and you can reserve a spot right here at this Zoom call next Tuesday. All right. Love you guys. See you next Tuesday on 10X Owners Live. I'm going to let Enrique and Ashley take it back over. If you have questions about that Marketing Essentials Workshop, they're the ones to ask.
The whole purpose of this show is to engage with business owners and be able to answer questions for people that will give them some insight and perspective on how to grow and scale a business. Not only leadership, but real life examples. This is the golden moment. I would do business with you right now.